cam only shot today, and it's a slightly strange desk cam shot. So no big face camera today because I did a photo job earlier and I'm doing one straight after this. So I'm gonna go with that rather than do what I normally do, which is when I transfer it from the out of the house camera bag to here and then back again, I always forget one thing. Any one thing, even though I have a little list, I always mess it up. So I've left it all safely packed. But my biggest problem today is you're seeing further up the desk than usual because the little bracket that holds my phone into the tripod decided it no longer wanted to exist as a functioning bracket. So I've ordered a new one that'll come tomorrow. But today I have this kind of creative view. Actually, it's not looking too bad, but it looks different than what I expect. And like, I can't push this further out the desk or I'll send the computer flying. So there we go. All right, so that's why today looks a little different. This pile of stuff here, I wanted to show you because I ended up adding a little bit of something to this layout after you all left. So I put the journaling on up here, here, here. Happy with that. And then decided I just wanted a little bit of edging to this. So I'm really quite pleased with it because it looks in tune with the background enough that you could believe that it was printed, but it's not. So I used dried marigold and tumbled glass. Dried marigold is what I did that stamping in up there. And I used a border stamp that actually has doilies on it, but the border stamp itself doesn't matter because I'm just stamping it this way to get like a little edge. Yeah? So I'm using the straight edge. So whatever is on the other side doesn't matter. Any border that has one edge straight, you can use for that technique. And then I'm just kind of putting it on at the tiniest of little degrees and overlapping it so that it's not perfectly even. Then I used the tumbled glass on a background stamp that has dots and little stars because I wanted to add something more starry into the Starlight Express stuff. So I put tumbled glass on this and then just kind of pushed it down like this. And I didn't put it on a block because I wanted it to be more distressed and in the background, even though I was adding it last. So instead of putting it on a block, I just did it like that. And that gave me that little finished look. So I wanted to leave those out to remind me to explain that for you. So that's what I did. I'll give you a little zoom in so you can see that up close. Just that little bit of peachy orange around the edge and then the kind of little blue dots and stars. They're really quite subtle, but I was way happier with the layout once I did that. So there we go. So that was our first layout with the July kit. We carry on, and today I have 4 little photos to work with instead of 2 big 4x6s. And yes, April noticed straight away I am trying to set myself a goal this month of going ahead and putting the journaling on these Best of Both Worlds layouts straight after so that I'm not creating more in my number of pages that I need to go back and write on and transfer all my thoughts over. So one of the best things I can ever suggest to you in terms of, oh, I'm falling behind on something, and remembering, obviously the first point is you're only falling behind in your own scale of things. No one is judging what you've done, only you. Yeah, so it's okay. But once you get past the idea and you still feel like, yeah, I wish that this part was done, start with what's current and get yourself in a pattern going forward, and then pick up a couple extras as you go. All right? Don't feel like, oh, I can't journal on this because I have 20 pages over there that I haven't journaled on and I must go back to page number 1. No, retrain your brain. It's okay. The pages will not revolt. Okay? I feel like you need to know that if you're somebody who does that, because I'm definitely one of those people who's like, oh, I can't do this one. I can't do number 20 because I haven't done number 1. In the coloring book, do you have to do the first page first? They're just different designs to color in. Do you just start with one you like and that gets you going, or are you like, no, I must color page number 1 first and page number 2 second? In both situations, the scrapbook pages and the coloring pages, they will not revolt. they're okay with it. So there we are. So that's it. Oh, April says, can we schedule a live journaling session for you? Yeah, let me get punch class all wrapped, and then I'll probably have time where I could schedule that in rather than just finding little minutes. Okay? I'm almost to the end of punch class, so then we could do that. Cool. One last little bit, and then I will get more on track here. And Corey says, I admit, if I don't journal as I go, I don't do it. Yeah, and I'm much better at it that way. I just got myself in a little bit where I always schedule these so that I'm finishing right as I'm running out the door, and then I don't ever think to come back and start 20 minutes earlier to do the writing, and that's how I get in that loop. But, finding the weakness in your system is part of the solution. So there we go. Corey is a color in order. And what was the other thing? Oh, if you looked on Instagram, yes, I'm sure I typed in 1:30 for this, but Instagram decided that no, not Instagram, YouTube decided, no, I meant 9:55. But I remember it being on 9:55 and me going, no, 1:30. So I don't know how I undid that. Yay. But we were definitely meant to start at 1:30. But if you went to Instagram looking for the video times, I got locked out of my Insta yesterday. But it shouldn't be, I should be able to do it now. I just needed to, long story short, I've had to delete the app and I'm going to reinstall it tonight, and then I should be all good to go. Nothing weird has happened with my account or anything. It's my phone. Folks, don't get to the very end of your phone storage and have like 60K left. Don't do it. Everything starts breaking. Right. That's all of that stuff. Okay. So that was the first one with July photos and July supplies. Well, it's June 28th photos. July supplies. This one is July of both. So this was yesterday. Oh, an exhausting day every year. The end of year dance studio show. Bend and snap. Do, 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 do. So these are all from the same number. Two of WB on his own, two with his two mates. They are part of a larger group here, but I've just gone with the kids that I know, and we're cool with that. I'll put group photos in my album, but I won't do the whole group on a video here. So I thought I could mix these up and kind of alternate them, or you could obviously do, 2 and 2. But that's what I'm going to go with. But it's a starting point day. So that means you'll have all sorts of flexibility. It doesn't have to be 4 small photos. I often find 3 3x4 photos easy, and 4 3x4s to be a little hard. I did do one last month, but I do find it a little trickier. So I've printed them. You'll notice the white border is just a bit bigger. I printed them a little bit smaller so that they wouldn't, if I did want to put them all in a row, they would fit. But they're not a lot smaller, just little. I just put a bigger white border on it. Okay? All right. Elaine says there's been a hack of a lot of accounts with Gmail emails, so might be worth changing passwords, everybody. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. Right, so let's have a look at this starters paper set that we've got and see where we're going today. Corey says, how was the recital with the heat wave? Oh my goodness. Oh, and I had to explain my arm. So part of my job yesterday was doing makeup on a gazillion children. Do these photos show their makeup? A little bit. Let me see if it'll focus this small because the faces are little. If you look at WB's cheeks, you may or may not, where will it focus? Does he look like he has like really epic cheekbones here? I mean, he has decent cheekbones, but they look particularly epic because we did blue, well, they could have pink, purple, blue, or teal makeup that had this like harsh line at the bottom, like where you would put blush or contour, and then sparkled up to their forehead. So in between kids, when I first started, because they're all supposed to bring their own makeup brushes. Of course they didn't all. So I had one communal brush that was like, I will use this brush on you, but you have to accept that this has been used on everybody. Is your face clean? Blah, blah, blah. And in between kids, when they would change colors, I started doing this. And I turned my arm like Violet Beauregard level of color. And even after makeup remover and good scrubbing, I still look a little ill because I've got this like band of blue. Obviously had the most pigment in it. Yeah, it looks much better today than yesterday, but I'm not injured. I just did too much makeup yesterday. Moving on. Okay, so we have these, but we have used this one, which would mean these two are out, and we've cut up this one. So that means we have all of these other backgrounds. I'm thinking we pull out the two, there's 3 blue ones, this one, and this one. Let's pull those out and have a look. Yeah. Boop. This one. And that one. Oh, maybe oh no, the other one I just pulled out, but I didn't end up using it. Is that right? Or did I cut into it? Let's see. Oh, I did. I cut into that one. So we can use pieces of that, but not as a full background. Cool. Yes, Corey, as opposed to the days when we all shared all the makeup, eyeliner, mascara, everything with friends. I know. Okay, I definitely like this one better for this particular layout. So we're going to start here. And while I cut this, let me do my little speech. Hi, my name's Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime I scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, even when my camera's wonky. And legally, I need to make sure you're aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my #advertising. I appreciate you being here, whether you are live, chatty, watch from Tomorrowland, quiet, craft, don't craft, thinking about coming back to craft, all of it. You are so welcome here, and you'll find lots of links to the things that you might need in the description box with this video. That includes where I teach my classes at Shimelle.com, affiliate links to all of my collections that you can find in stores, the supplies that I'm using this month, that's the July kit, plus next month, which is the August top-up, because we'll use whatever we have left over from July, plus some stuff to top up in August, because the summer is always the craziest, and that's when I have to have fewer live streams, so I'm going to be using this across both months, and there we go. I do not know what the summer schedule will be. It is still up in the air, so we will cross those bridges when we get there. All right, so let's look at what kind of strategy we might want to do with these supplies. So we've got, where did my notes go? They are here. So 4 across. I'm just going to look at how wide these 4 end up together, because although I'm going to give you a starting point with lots of options about where they could go, I'm really curious as to what kind of composition will work best with this number, because this isn't a number I do very often, so I don't have like that magic almost muscle memory of it'll do this. It's not muscle memory. What would that be? When you've used, like visually, you know how things are going to compose because you've done it. I mean, it's practice, but I don't know what the equivalent to visual memory, like visual memory versus muscle memory. Would it just be visual memory? I don't know. Anyway, hopefully it made sense, even if I didn't have the right words for it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This background, because there's even a little bit of green mixed in here, and the lighting was shifting from blue to green. So it seemed definitely the right paper to put with these. There's not a discount on orders today, but there is free shipping. So if you're somebody who likes to go scrapbook shopping but does not like to pay for shipping, and you're in the States, go have a look. Oh, are we frozen? No, I don't think so. Oh, maybe we are. What happened there? All right. Well, this is going to be fun because I don't want to move it too much. Okay. Let's see. No, not yet. I don't want to take it out of the bracket, but I'm going to have to. Oh, I'm afraid that I won't be able to get it back in without breaking it. Okay. Come on, phone. We can do this. We can do this. Please don't break. Please don't break. Okay. Why did that not fix it? That should have fixed it. What's going on? It didn't fix it. Sorry, I know I've left you in the black with nothing. Okay, let me try this then. I have one more attempt. One more thing that sometimes helps it. But why have we frozen? Okay. This one. Okay, I'm gonna put it onto the right camera, but it won't be the right size for the screen, so just hold on a second. Nope, it's nothing. It's entirely black. Well, that's not useful either. What has decided to disconnect? Let's unplug things, plug them back in. Don't you love live broadcasting? It's crazy. Ah, okay. There we go. Ready? Whoop. Okay. No idea why any of that did that. But there we go. You could hear me throughout, right? The sound stayed the same? If the sound cut out, then that's a bigger problem that I didn't know about. Okay. What were we talking about scrapbooks? Oh, if I knew why the video froze, I would have, a better plan and be able to fix it sooner. No. Okay. So I think like that. I do like them in a row. Okay. All right. So what paper then to mat them with? I could bring in the red because they've all got a bit of red in their outfits. I do love light blue with red. Oh, Allison, the photos are from yesterday's dance recital. But the red is just the floral, but it would only be a little matte, so you wouldn't even see the flowers. But yeah, that's the only true red. Oh, or was there a polka dot and I already used it? Hold on. I didn't use a red yesterday, Friday. But what was in the pack looked pink. Am I being completely daft? That doesn't look red. This one is ladybug. This one is cherry. Yeah, that's just a little bit too pink, I think. Okay, so we will go with the floral because it's actually red. Okay. So anyway, where I wanted to see, because I didn't have the pattern recognition, apparently those are the words I needed to use, of what these four photos this size, would look like as a line. I think I will leave a gap between them just a tiny bit. I wanted to see how big this block would be to help. This is a great opportunity to evaluate whether you like hand cut or trimmer cut. Because when I leave the gaps, the fact that I cut them by hand with scissors becomes more obvious because they're not precision. But I actually like it better this way. Why? So then I start talking about trimmer, so I pick up a trimmer. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it with scissors. Because when I first started scrapbooking, I didn't have a trimmer until about, I feel like I've been scrapping about 4 years when I finally bought a trimmer. Just always used scissors. And when I look back at the layouts that I made, yes, I have things where I'm like, oh, that was an interesting design choice. But at no point do I look and go, oh, your edges on those mats are wonky. That's not the reaction I have. And it just reminds me that although, you know, this is printed and I'm using product that is created by a company and things like that, there's definitely a hand element here. So that's why. So there we are. Okay, so now I know how wide this is, and magically, it's about the same width as the blue paint. Allie says even when she uses the trimmer, she can't get them even because they always end up a little thinner or wider. Yeah. And I do have to say, when I do little mats like this, I find them really difficult on the trimmer, and I quite often make a mess of it where it like doesn't trim smoothly because it's just so close to the edge of the next thing, and I don't know. So I love the scissor stuff, but I also totally understand if, like you might be sitting here and going, no, the pages of the coloring book will revolt, Shimelle, what do you know? You might well go, no, I do look at layouts and say that line is cut wonky. And if so, then stick with your trimmer. It's all good. Okay. I think it's more important. There's not a right or wrong. It's more important that you know what you like, and then you'll like your pages. Let's find something to write on and build that in. And we're going to make this starting point knowing that I'm working with this space up here and putting that down here. Okay, so I'm not going to stick it. I'm just going to kind of give it as a visual point, and then we're going to talk through what other options you could have other than this. All right, so I kind of feel like we want to go with the brighter. Really must remember that I have all of these ice cream themed things and that I need to take a photo every time I eat ice cream this month. Oh, this is an interesting topic, actually, thinking about taking photos of just ordinary things. My friends were comparing how many photos in their photo library a month now versus like 10 years ago. Now mine didn't have the same variation that theirs did, so this is why it's really interesting. But they were finding that now they are even taking far fewer photos. And they were trying to figure out, is it because 10 years ago their children who are this age were babies, and so you photographed everything, including like every meal they ate, and if you photographed a 10-year-old with every meal they ate, they'd probably start revolting. Not like the first page in the coloring book. So I'm curious. It's something you might want to look at and come back with an answer. If you were to look at how many photos you took a month in, say, 2010 to 2015, a year in there, versus now in 2025, how do your numbers compare? Yeah, Allie says, I'm taking way fewer because my daughter's 18 and I'm not with her all the time. Yep, I'm sure that is definitely a thing. And I'm gonna use the good vibes sticker today, but I just want you to know it's not a good vibes only. It's just that these photos very much suit the good vibes. So I'm gonna pop that there so that I remember I have it to use today. And we're gonna look at what other options we might bring in here. I still don't like how they smell. Yeah, I think we can definitely bring in black accents today. So we'll bring those in. Hello, Georgia. Corey takes fewer because her girls are grown up and gone, but she takes as many or more when she travels, so pretty much balances out. Elaine takes fewer photos but has more screenshots and memes. That's fun. Okay. We've got the colorful pieces here, but what might we want to put in? I kind of think that one might need to come in. Oh, and maybe some of the yellow stars. I like that. Okay, let's add those. And the tags from Vicki's page, what do we have there that might be great? Yeah. I like this one. Auntie Caffeine's like, what? I'm not sure what happened, Auntie Caffeine. I remember I went to fill out all of the schedule, the live stream at 9:55, and I remember specifically that it came up as, do you want to start now or do you want to choose your time? And I scrolled down to 1:30, but I must have somehow clicked an undo button or scrolled it, like maybe it's a scrolly wheel thing. So I wonder if I just crossed my hand against the trackpad and it scrolled it back up to the current time. But yeah, I never meant to be live at 9:55. No, I was doing paperwork at 9:55. So there we go. Always meant to be live at 1:30. So here we are. Georgia thinks she takes more photos now because life hasn't changed for me in 10 years, really, but you've been taking more pictures. And Chandra says she doesn't take as many photos, but she borrows them from her adult children and scrapbooks her grandkids. Yeah, so you might not be the one behind the camera, but they still end up in your camera roll. I think that counts too. Debbie's the same, so that she can get grandkid pictures. I think that one behind. Okay. I don't even warn you anymore. Which version do I like better? That end. And then this one, which I think maybe we do some shapes. Georgia thinks she takes more photos now because her phone camera is better, and she doesn't have to stop for the big camera. Also, she takes 20 pictures a day of her cat. No one's going to blame me for that. I mean, I take photos most weeks of other people's pets, and not professionally, just, I mean, like random. I saw a dog. Have I told you about this game? WB really likes meeting random dogs in public, but he actually is quite concerned because he doesn't know the dogs. So he won't ever like go up and just pet a strange dog, which is fine. We're cool with that strategy. But he really likes to say hello to them. So sometimes he just subtly walks by and says, and like he puts his hands to his mouth and he's like, hello, little dog. And it's really funny. So because there's a lot of dogs that are just, you know, out and about on the transport system, or the area where the theater is, it has a dog park on the next street, and all of the flats around there allow pets. So there's quite a few animals around. And so he would start recognizing the ones that he would see all the time and make some friends. Anyway, he would get upset if I said, I saw a cute dog while you were at work or on standby or whatever. And he would go, and you didn't take a picture? And it became this challenge of what was the cutest dog I could photograph while he was at work. And then when I picked him up and we were on the train, like it's really late at night. And he does all this stuff, but you have to remember that he is actually just a little kid. So I have to come up with strategies to like have him not fall asleep on the tube, because little kid he may be, but he is too big for me to carry up the hill from the station to my house. So part of the game became, can you take a picture of the cutest dog you see? And there we are. So I have photos of random dogs. They're not even mine. So that's going to go across there. Okay, this is going to work. It's going to be pretty cool, I think. All right, I'm going to start sticking. Starting point of working in the middle of the page, then going up. So we're going to have a couple 3x4 cards or tags. You could do both tags. You could do both 3x4s. It's absolutely fine. This is going to be my journaling space, but I'm also going to have an extra bit of writing up here. Then I'm going to have some circles that bounce their way up to the top of the page and go off the top edge. And then this one is going to overlap that bottom circle. And I want that space to be about even to this space. Okay. So when I get to finishing it, I'm going to put this at the bottom, but we're going to talk about other stuff you could put there. Okay. Going to cut this over. Oh, now that I flip this over, at least one person's going to be like, oh, you didn't use that beautiful page. I know, but this is the perfect background for these photos, so it's okay. I'm using what I bought. All right. So we've got that. Let's see what else we shall put on it. So we're going to bring this in, and that's going to layer in here. And the trick now is going to be to overlap things that are already there to connect it all. So probably put something in here too. So we've got this sticker sheet. Now I have that flower there. Ah, it faces the same way here, but I've got a pink one that faces the other side. Oh, or I've got this kind of smaller one. It's okay. This up to the top. Auntie Caffeine's inner diva is loving the crown thing. She's loving being queen of the live chat. But if you are on the live chat and you have the crowns and you're bothered by them, Sophia's just put instructions on how to turn it off in case. So it doesn't show up on all devices, but it does on some. And then I haven't turned it on. It's just a new thing. Oh, speaking of new things and turning it on. Anybody who watched the last one on replay, but quite quickly, like in a certain gap of like maybe 8 hours to 12 hours after, I was thinking that I finally had an answer that would let me put on a little bit of advertising, but not an insane amount of advertising. Because in the past, when I've put adverts on, because I do long format videos, it just would drop in an advert like every 3 to 6 minutes. And then I have to manually go in and take all of them out. And it said last week that I had this new option available that would give me a button to choose to push when I was live, and that's where it would put the adverts. Nope, as soon as it went to replay, it dropped them in every 3 to 6 minutes. And one person got 52 ad breaks. Michelle wonders if the word I was looking for earlier was spatial awareness. It is a form of spatial awareness, yeah. But it was a specific kind of thing. Yeah, how much space would this fill? Yeah. All right, so now see how this one has something to the bottom this side, and this one has the bottom on the other side. This one needs something up here, okay? So let's see what that might be. It could be this. It's kind of big though. If I put it in the middle, it's not so bad. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, obviously I turned the YouTube ads off as soon as that started happening. I thought I had a nice answer. And then I started Googling, like, for YouTube, like channels that are YouTube creators and stuff, like, how can you get the adverts to work for you? And the answers are all really rubbish. They're like, no, just let it play an ad every, like, they were suggesting that every 10 minutes is a good time to put an ad. I'm like, not if you live stream for an hour and a half. That's not appropriate. It's way intrusive. So back to the drawing board. Yeah. Use the affiliate link. That's kind of where I am now, but yeah, looking for ways to make it all work, but that is not the one. That is not helpful. Kind of thinking I might want to overlap this. Can we still read that says good if I put a flower there? I think so. Sophia says that happened to PM Artist Studio. She scheduled a live and it tried to put in that many ads. Yeah, it's bonkers. All right, the back now. What if I do good vibes and laughter? I need an ampersand somehow, but I think I like this word here. Georgia says, will I see Vicki when she's here to do a cruise? I'm not going on the cruise, but hopefully our schedules will align so that we can be in the same room at the same time. Because she's lovely like that. Oh, there's not an and in here that I'm just missing, is there? No, I don't see an and. Okay. There is an and here, though. I mean, it's the same ampersand that was on the last layout, but that's okay. Pam says they're trying to force us all to buy YouTube Premium so that we just don't have ads. I don't think that's super easily read, do you? Oh, actually, it's growing on me. Should I ink it and put that there? Auntie Caffeine says, I'm trying a new mixed media technique. Going to try to brush on pigment powder, then spray it with water. Do you think it will stay? Yeah, it'll work like watercolor. Yeah. And the amount of saturation will just depend on the kind of pigment you're using and how much water you add. But it should work. Yep. For anybody who came in late and didn't know what the photos were from, I'm not turning blue. I'm stained with stage makeup. It was much bluer than this. It was like that. It was so so saturated. Okay, let's have some little tuckies up here, and it'd be nice to bring that color in. It was definitely not cool sodas and a summer breeze in that recital hall, I tell you. It was hot, hot, hot. But we could have this one that says you're the coolest, even though it was hot, hot, hot. So I don't want to put it with that because it's the same color. So we can put this one there. I'm going to use the sunglasses too. One of them's wearing sunglasses. Which one? Maybe the green? He's actually wearing like pink neon sunglasses. But I think this is the better call. Okay. Yes, you could definitely layer this on paper and cut it out if you wanted it to have more contrast. You most certainly could. Bring that red over here. Oops. There we go. So both are legible. What do my little tabs look like? See you later, April. I could bring this tab over to here. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to go here. Like nothing is too specific. And you're going to have a lot of option for what you could do here. You've got a journaling box. You've got a nice embellishment area. You've got all this space to add your photos. So you could do 2 landscape photos here. You could do 3 or 4 smaller portraits here. You could do 1 big portrait here and have more open space here to put more journaling. You could either journal straight onto the background or journal onto a journaling card. Or you could take this motif and punch more of the circles and keep this line going all the way down to the bottom. Yeah. Right. And I wanted this little camera in there. Okay. And we know when we're scrappers, cameras go with everything. It's what we all have in common. We take pictures. Okay. So is that the starting point? Probably. I want a little bit more of the black and then I'll take a picture of it. Okay, what could we do? So we've got various arrows. Do we have an arrow that could easily point to the good vibes. I don't want it to be that big. One of the smaller arrows. That one's got the wrong curve. I need it to go that way. This one does, but it's, oh, it could go that way like that. Okay. Yay! Pam is thinking she can use this starting point with cruise photos. Amazing. And then let's do these little hearts that need the insides taken out because they're fiddly. Oh, I'm letting Petite Mint down today. The nails are not particularly well manicured after all of that crazy stage makeup. It was fun to do though. I like the mix of the light bright colors plus the little black accents, so that's what I was thinking here. Come on, insides, little pieces. There we go. Is there another one? I thought I had more that were solid like this. Where was that? I do have them in color. Did I have another black one? Where are you? Maybe I only had one solid black. Okay, well we could add in, we could go with just two open ones and have different size here. Because this has the bigger sticker. So this could have bigger hearts. There we go. So do I add in then a third little heart in the red? Right, I know I've left this open still. And no, it's still available. I will have a look. I've got a couple people that we talked about at the very beginning of this one, so I will look this evening for what is happening there for you. No problem, me. Sorry that something's not quite right there. Okay. Anything else I want to add? I want to add the enamel dots. Now, this was a kit with no dots and we are using what we have. Is that right? Or have I made that up in my head? Hold on. Before I get it wrong, let me just look. Okay. We have got oh no, we have, this is the next month we use what we have. This month is the teeny tiny a gazillion enamel dots. I thought it felt wrong. Okay, we've got red, so we use red. And yes, I think it was Corey who said light blue and red. She was thinking 4th of July. Definitely works for 4th of July. Ah! I pinged it across the desk. Let's try again. He's laughing at me because I pinged it across the desk. And I shouted at. That's the part. That he's laughing at me. Okay. Let's bring 3 dots to this one in the middle, or here, because it does not have the hearts because it has an arrow. So let's do something to keep this one consistent with the others. So it still feels connected. Okay. Yes, you could use these teeny tiny enamel dots for freckles. Even on some of the faces in in Live the Dream, you could put them on the faces there, I think. Yeah, okay. Or in other collections, obviously. Right, anything else on this to become a starting point? I'm still not loving this. I want to add a thing there, and then we're good. Do I put another flower in there? Because I could put this floral in that gap. Oh, Georgia, I don't know the number quite off the top of my head. You're roughly halfway. You're just over halfway. Okay, I think I like that better. Okay, let's take a picture of this one as the starting point. It's so not going to be square. Please don't fall. Okay, all done. Now, then you could put all different options down here, but I've got these 4 that I've printed just smaller than 3x4. I'm going to pull that camera up so we can link the 2 together. I want to center this, so I'm going to have a little bit either side there, and this has a dot grid in the background paper, so you can use that to check if you're putting things down on a straight line. And now I want to bring something down here, so let's go back to the stars, punch one more of these circles. Georgia's just enjoying, forgot about adding pictures to it. That's funny. Okay. Let's do this. Boop. That one there. This one off the bottom edge. So you could just put photos over here and keep this idea going all the way down the page. Sophia, wait to catch up. You will find the answer. So funny. Okay. So then what stickers am I going to put with those? So I have these little dots that match. And I have a daisy. So this little daisy could go with the smallest one here. It's okay, Sophia. I think it means that we've trained you well. Like, you know what my brain's going to do. You're just waiting for me to get there. Now, I know that I will have nothing themed to a surfboard. And it has that flower. So I'm going to use that. Georgia says Sophia is a well-trained Shimeller. You're so funny. So does it look like a surfboard if I do it like that? Or can that just be like it's on a little label or something? That's my intention. Now, however, I need to add hearts and stuff down here. Have I got enough hearts to make that happen? Didn't realize I was going to use all the black hearts on today's layout, but apparently, yes. That's what I'm going to do. So we'll have one here. We'll have one here. Georgia thinks Sophia must have a lot of Shimelle miles, like a frequent Shimeller card. I'm afraid, Sophia, it's like airplanes. The frequent flyer miles have decreased in value over time. But I will happily sing you a song and do something sparkly. Yes, that I can do. Is this a good, close enough color match? They're definitely different. One's pink. I'm gonna do a little dot, maybe. Nope, don't like it. Don't like it. Rather just have two. Okay. So these will just be a little smaller. I think a little label here would fix quite a lot. So let's go back to that dotty paper. I don't need to go back to the big sheet because I had an offcut. There it is. Where's the nicest mix of dots? Here. So then we can have a little dot here for the date. Like that. Let's bring in a few more little red enamel dots. And let's add some gold. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to follow the circles with the gold. Okay, journaling here. So other things you might do with it. I'm just looking to see if I want another edge treatment like I did the other day. Should I make the edges red? Is that too much? Oh, maybe I do edge treatment, but only in a couple places, not all the way around. I like that look too. Okay, hold on. So, put something down. You can tell this is where I did the edges before. Let's get, I think Festive Berries is probably where I'm at here. And then I'm going to do this edge here with a bit of red. So not super tidy inking, yeah? So I just get that. Then this corner, same thing. that. And what else? Okay, no more red, just that tiny bit. A little bit of red goes a long way. But let's go back to tumbled gloss. And actually, maybe we use the other side and we use the doily bit. Good color match. I'm happy with that. So that's tumbled glass with this particular background paper. And let's see now, what do I put with those? Because here they're kind of in a cluster, but there, not so much. So maybe just bring in a little bit more gold there. More gold. See you later, Yoo-hoo. Because I'm going to have a little bit of journaling here anyway. So I think that will pull it all together. I should just add the gold to the blue arm, shouldn't I? All right, let's zoom in a little bit. So the stamping ends up looking like that. The circles are like this. Little title work there. So it's going to be journaling both in the open space here and in the journaling box. 4 photos on red, and then the stamping down in that bottom corner as well. And there we are. Let's take a little freeze frame of that one. And we are all good to go. So thank you so very much. Oh, is that not at all square? Oh no, it is square. Okay, we're good. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I'm glad you're here, and I hope you have a wonderful week. But I hope to see you soon. I'll be live here on YouTube again on Friday. And tonight I will post when class videos are coming, because there are new videos for both punches and Old Stash this week. Certainly on Wednesday and Thursday. But I need to see if there's going to be additional time on Tuesday and Friday, or I'm not quite sure yet. But that's the deal. All right, if you enjoyed this video and you want to give it a thumbs up, that would be super duper fabulous. And I hope to see you again sometime. Happy crafting. Oh, Friday's video is to celebrate George's birthday. Wow, Georgia gets to make special requests then. Let me know, let me know. I will see you very soon. Thanks, stay safe, see you later, bye.